What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of 10-Minute Touch Warmup on the On the Floor with Liv and Core podcast. I'm Core. Liv is not here on this episode, and she's really bummed because this is going to be an amazing episode with University of Utah gymnast Ana Padurariu. Anna, how the heck are you? We're so happy that you're on here.
Amazing. Thank you for having me on this. This is
Yeah, absolutely. It's our pleasure. I can't wait to chat with you a little bit just about the University of Utah, how things have been going this season, and the excitement heading into nationals this week. So it's going to be a really fun conversation. But with further ado, I'm going to start our 10-minute stopwatch so that we're not going to get a deduction for going over time, if you know what I mean. Sound good? All right. Here we go. And time starts now. Okay, Anna, you are now a University of Utah gymnast. You had transferred from UCLA. And I just want to know, like, how has it been at the University of Utah in this like final year of your gymnastics and everything going on? I know that there's also a familiar friend that is to you that is also playing professional sports in Utah. So tell us a little bit more about what brought you to Utah and how it's been going.
yeah. So, I was kind of in and out of Utah this past year, or I guess last year, because I was in Canada trying to train for the Olympics. But when I broke my foot, I was kind of here a little more of the time than I was in Canada. Um, yeah, and I don't know. I just fell in love with the state. I fell in love with the mountains, with the weather. Um, And when the opportunity presented itself for me to transfer over, I just took it. I took it by the hand and I went full force towards it. And it's just been such a blessing. It's been amazing to be living here with Tommy and watching him live out his dreams too in soccer. Um, so yeah, I've been so blessed and grateful to be here.
Man, it's so cool. I mean, it's kind of cool too, right? It's a roadblock that happened with your injury training for the Olympics, but then it turned into such a blessing, getting to land where you have and you have absolutely been shining this year at Utah, which has been so fun for me to get to watch personally. But how's the team doing and how are you guys feeling heading into the NCAA Championship this week?
It's been a roller coaster of emotions the last few weeks. Um, Coming into Utah, I didn't realize what a legacy. I knew they were an incredible team, but I didn't know the legacy that stood behind that. So kind of the little bit of added pressure knowing that there's been 48 teams before us that have gone to nationals consistently. We just had that little added pressure at regionals to be able to make it through. And like we knew we were gonna make it, but it didn't make it any less emotional when we did. So that was really awesome. We had a great week of training this past week. Everyone's just super fired up. It seems like nationals is one of their, if not their favorite competition of the year. So I'm really excited to be there with them.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's so cool. It's going to be such a fun week in Fort Worth coming up here. But let's circle back. I mean, you were a 2018 world silver medalist on balance beam. You continue to just shine on beam, and Utah has historically been an unbelievable balance beam team, right? Like there have been many 48.5 plus beam rotate or 49.5 plus beam rotations from
I would hope
Utah.
48.5.
No, yeah, yeah, way more than 48.5. Let's be real. No, 49.5 plus beam rotations from Utah, and you're in that lineup. So, what is it like training alongside of such incredible athletes on your team, your teammates, but also like just bringing that Utah artistry to balance beam?
Yeah, when I first came to Utah, wasn't doing like any of my beam skills because of my foot still. So when I came in, I was like just freshly starting to train again. And thankfully, Carly was super patient with everything. I learned a new dismount, which the gainer pike doesn't look hard at all, but I really struggled with it for months. And I was really grateful that she was so patient with giving me drills and helping me out. But for that little beginning bit of time there, I honestly didn't even think I was going to make beam lineup because of how many good beam workers there were. And I think that was also really good for me though, because then I pushed myself day after day And Carly was like, like you have to be really great to make it. And I'm like, I know, like I'm getting there, don't worry. So I'm really happy I was able to build my confidence and like my team's confidence and Carly's confidence in me. And I think Carly knew that I had a little bit of like an artistic side to me. So as soon as I came in, she worked the choreography with me, and it's something that she talks about every single day, whether it's my little bit of smiling or a little bit more of a chin up. Like every little detail really matters to her. And that's kind of how I grew up in the with my elite coach. So it was honestly kind of refreshing to have that again, to have a coach that just cares about every single detail. And that's what makes every single person in the beam lineup and everyone trying to make beam lineup so, so great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I can tell those details do matter. I mean, it won world silver medal on balance beam, right? With a history of Canadian gymnasts that are also incredible on balance beam. You have Elise Hoffner-Hibbs winning the first world medal for Canada, and then we talk about just we had Emma Spence on an episode before Big Tens, and her artistry is up there too, right? And I think there's something finessed about you Canadians of like those details that really matter, and we can see it. We can see it for sure. Okay, I have a question because you mentioned obviously the fans in the Huntsman Arena are just unmatched and historically have been unmatched. But now you can officially say that you have both competed as a Utah gymnast, but also against Utah gymnasts. So you've competed as a home and an away team in the arena. Can you just talk a little bit about like the Utah fans and what it's like to compete when they're on your side and maybe a little bit when they're not on your side?
Of course. I mean, even when I came with UCLA, they were super supportive, and I think just the overall loudness that they have to them, like, just brought us energy too. The thing that kind of struck me off my step a little bit was when they started booing while we were on bars with UCLA, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I remember Mark Zetta was in the middle of her bar routine. I'm like, I'm so happy I'm not competing right now.
Yeah.
Because that was crazy. I just never heard booing at a gymnastics competition before. Um, so that was pretty cool to experience. But now to be on their side, I don't know. It's just a whole different ball game. Like every time we go to a different arena, I'm like, oh, we got this. Like it's not gonna be as intense anywhere else.
Yeah, yeah. The energy that comes from those fans historically, I remember being on the floor when I was team manager for UCLA that going to Utah was not easy and like we heard those boos. But it's funny now me being on the on a different side of the sport. I actually think that the Utah fans are some of the most educated gymnastics educated fans in the country because it is hard to tell people about what to cheer for and what to like kind of tone your cheering down for in a gymnastics environment. And honestly, a lot of the times the booing is not against the away team. It's when they don't agree with the score that a judge is
Exactly.
giving. And so I, I'm here for the fanfare, for the excitement, for the noise, for the competitive environment. I think it's great for our sport. And I'm sure that it's really great to be on their side of the booze, instead of distracting from a bar routine.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, everyone I bring to a gymnastics meet for the first time, they come to the Huntsman, they're like, that was the best thing ever. And I'm like, I know. And you're so right. Like, they never boo for the opposing team. It's more like if someone deserved a higher score, they were gonna boo those judges. And sometimes the judges are like, oop, like, I need to smarten up a little bit. So
Yeah.
sometimes, it kind of works, which is kind of fun to see.
For sure, for sure. Okay, so I have one final question. We have about a minute and 40 seconds left.
Okay.
My final question we're asking to all of the student athletes that we are speaking to this week ahead of nationals. NCAA gymnastics is competitive and it's fierce competition, and week in and week out, it's really great gymnasts going up against one another. But the truth is that it's all kind of like one big family, and you guys, I know, look up to one another and you're inspired by one another. So our question that we're asking is there another NCAA gymnast, or can you please name a gymnast or other gymnasts from another team that you are inspired by or that push you to be better as a person and as a gymnast?
It's funny because so we're part of a, I don't want to say club, but an organization called FCA, which I
Mhm.
know is pretty big just across America. And I just came across this one gymnast named Isabella from the University of Kentucky. I realized she's a beam gymnast just like me, and I read her whole like interview with FCA, and just being like a Christian athlete too, that really inspired me. And it's funny because I know she went to the same gym as Livy Dunn, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I remember watching her grow up, and just to see her now, I'm like, wow. So I really hope I can meet her again someday because I think she's going to NCAAs, right?
Yes, she
So
is. She is
I'm
an
totally gonna
individual.
meet her there, and I'm gonna be so happy, and I can't wait to watch her kill it.
Oh, that'll be amazing. Yes, Isabella McNally will be at NCAAs as a competitor on balance beam, I believe. And
Yeah.
so let's make that happen. We did it. We did it. We
Nice.
hit 10 minutes right on the nose.
Let's
Right on.
go.
Let's go. No, this was awesome, man. And like, yes, I mean, hit the nail on the head. I love that you guys have been having a great week of training. I'm sure you maybe have one or two practices prior to getting on that plane and heading to Fort Worth, but stay healthy, recover well, get some rest, and we cannot wait to see you and your team in Fort Worth. It's going to be such an exciting week.
Oh, thank you, Corey. I'm so excited.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Well, guys, this has been another episode of 10-Minute Touch Warmup, and this episode was with Ana Padurariu from the University of Utah, and it was so fun to get to chat with her. But this is another episode of On the Floor with Lib and Core. Hope you guys are enjoying this series. We cannot wait to get to Fort Worth. It's going to be an amazing week. And with that, we'll see you guys later.